Hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to this late night edition, almost 9 p.m. Pacific, of Goso TV. I won't be ringing that Goso bell too loud because it is kind of late. But welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Thank you for being here today. It's Thursday night, almost 9 p.m., as I said, Pacific, and just been enjoying this day. Just thought I'd spend some time here with you, just thinking a little bit together about what is next, maybe for you, for me. What is kind of going on? How are you guys? I'm going to turn down the lights a little bit, see if I can. Okay, that's worse. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better, huh? I don't want to make it so bright. But I've had a great week. I don't think I've ever been happier in my life. I've had very happy times. I mean, really, really happy times. Creatively, of course, with my lovely wife. I mean, getting married, having our first, second, third child, now seeing them grow up. Rochelle and I have seen amazing places, have experienced such joy and oneness. Just the other night, we were mentoring a young couple in their 20s. They came over and wanted to ask us questions just about their relationship, and give us a chance to talk a little bit about kind of what we've learned in 25 years, almost 25, of married, successful life. And it was just great to talk about me doing the dishes. Like, for example, tonight, I was doing the dishes, and that's what love looks like 24, 25 years in. And yesterday morning, my beautiful wife prayed for me as I was going to work. And every Sunday, she gets up with me and gets me ready to go to church and helps me with the slides and prays for me all the time. And that's what love looks like on her end, loving me. It's very beautiful. We know now what to do. I don't always do it. She always does. I don't always help with things that I need to help her with. But this morning, for example, she had a lot going on this morning, just a bunch of stuff at work and family and all these things. And so I could tell she woke up like at 4:30 and pretty stressed. So instead of praying or, I don't know, holding her, anything like that, what she needs is my help. And so what I did is I took our son to surf. Normally I pick him up, but she drops him off on the way to work. But it's to help her, I took him and just spent an hour and a half there with him at the beach. And well, he took his class. He loves his surfing class. Good waves, he said today. And then before that, I took all the things. Hello, Pendleton Gazette. Hello, good evening to you. I think you're in Indiana, right? Yeah, wonderful. I'm here in the LA area, in Long Beach, California, Los Angeles County, talking about life after 50. I turned 50 just last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I was just talking a little bit about how I have everything that I need. And I think that person left, so that's okay. Well, hopefully they'll come back. Oops, what happened there? I don't know. I'm back. But I was saying just about practical ways to help each other out. I think people leave when there's no one else watching. But you have to know that nobody ever watches my stream. So if you are the only one, that's common. It'll never be like more than one person. And it's fine with me. It's not a big deal. But thinking of being 50, so I turned 50 a week ago. I never really thought about 40 or 30. I never really think much about age or getting older. I really think more about, I think there are two things that I think about a lot. First, how am I feeling? Am I happy? Am I doing what I love? Am I with the people that I love? Which the answer to all those things is yes. It hasn't always been the case, mainly in doing what I love to do, but for the most part. And then I always think about my goals. Yeah, what do I want to do next? I'm a very driven person, very forward thinking, like what's next. I'm not one to, I wish I was maybe a little more of a kind of being happy and I guess, what do they call that? Smell the roses, right? Yeah, I'm not a smell the roses kind of person at all. I'm more of a, something's missing, I need to do more. And that's good and bad. So I'm learning to let go of all that I think I need to do. I actually, on my phone, I have just a little post-it per se, or just a note that I wrote, and I put it as a desktop or whatever it's called, the screen. And it says, you don't have to accomplish more. You don't have to accomplish more. And for me, that is very, very difficult to believe, because I've always wanted to accomplish more. It's my gift. It's my jam. It's just how God made me. But I was thinking about just turning 50, and I've been enjoying all the jokes from my friends about getting old and walking around with a cane, and that has been fun. But hey, you know what? I still have my awesome hair. I am handsome, tall, dark, and handsome. I can probably outrun and out whatever most people, certainly most 50-year-olds, and probably most 40-year-olds, and even most 30-year-olds. But I'm a very competitive person. So, but anyway, I would say that as I now go into my 50th year and the second half of life, hopefully, meaning hopefully I have 50 more years on this earth, I think a little bit about, how much time I have left. Not in terms of death, but in terms of like active, relevant, not relevancy, just more active. And, by the grace of God, I don't come from a family of people who have died. I mean, my father did die young, but it wasn't cancer or anything like that. It was kind of like a freak thing. But apart from that, I expect to live till I'm 110. So I think we all do, right? So, but thinking about turning 50, I feel happy. But here's what I want to say more than happiness or not or whatever. I was thinking about this. The main thing that turning 50 means to me, first, it doesn't mean hardly anything. It's not that it's just a number. I just don't really, I don't know. 40 did hit me, 50, 60, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But this one is more of, I think I was ready. I think more than anything, I feel like I've accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish. So I feel completely satisfied. In every area of my life, I feel like I have done everything that I have wanted to do. There's nothing that I'm looking at right now and think, man, I wish I had done that. There's nothing. And I don't want to go through the list because it's kind of boring, but meaning boring to you. But as far as the things that most males, let's say in my case, or most humans want, meaning, I don't know, education or money or family or health or opportunities, travel, the things that people seem to value. I've done all those things. What do I value? Meaning what, when I say I've done it all, what are the things that I'm talking about? Well, I would say first, a family, an amazing, beautiful wife, whom I love, that I've been faithful to, and she has been in love with me for 20, as I said, 20. It's actually been more like 26 years, married 24, plus 2 of dating and all that, 26 years. I would say that's the number one thing that it's a huge deal. I mean, how many people do you know that have been married faithfully, happily, for more than 5 years, 10 years? I mean, besides our grandmas and grandparents' generation, but I mean just your friends, people in, or maybe if you are older, your kids, your adult kids. And I'm not saying that to show off. I'm just saying that's something that I have worked on tremendously. It hasn't been an accident that we've been happily married, committed, faithful, in love, serving each other for 24 years, 26 years. I would say number 2 is my faith in God. I don't mean just church, although maybe that's number 3. But I mean, my faith in Jesus, because being a Christian, and maybe Oh, sorry about that. That was super loud. It scared me. But certainly I would say being a Christian, certainly these days, it's not a popular thing, right? Not everyone does that. But for me, it's, I also kind of was discouraged with the faith. I would say was I don't know. Yeah, it was hurt by the church, not by God, but by the church. And so I left church, you could say, for maybe 5 years, 4 or 5 years. And then the grace of God brought me back, and I stronger than ever, I guess I would say. So that's number 2, faith, and all that goes with faith. And then number 3, I would say, sure, it's church, my commitment, my love, my success, the opportunities in church. And maybe success is not your favorite word, but it's very important to me as an Enneagram 3 person. Most maybe spiritual leaders aren't allowed to talk about success. They're, I would say, often criticized if they talk about success, because people think that church should be about, I don't know. I mean, of course, love. But yeah, so anyway, so I'm a success person. So I feel like I've been a successful leader in the church. I consider myself a lover of God, of people. I also consider myself a creative and a leader, someone who wants to cause change and improvement. And so I've always been in situations where things needed to be fixed, needed to be done. I've always been drawn to those situations. I've actually run away, you could say, or just left places that were pretty good. And hello, Mary, just places where maybe nice to have you here, places where maybe I just had to maintain instead of hanging out in those places. I've always tried to fix broken things. I've always been drawn to situations where there was a problem, and God has given me the skills and the abilities to make things better. I mean, since I was a little boy and I was in the back of the bus, I remember when I was in 4th grade and I had the Rubik's Cube, for us 80s kids. And my whole goal in life was to not just to figure it out, but to do it faster and better than everyone else, so that everyone could not only, obviously admire me, but they could learn from me as well. So I've always wanted to help people and help others succeed. And so I would say at 50, I'm talking about kind of now that I'm 50, what else is there now to do? But at first I'm talking about the accomplishments. So I would say that the big accomplishment of my life has been exactly that, has been to fix things and to be a strong and very, I would say, gifted leader, a change agent, someone who is, people can look back and say, wow, he really helped this organization or this area or this whatever tremendously. And I'm thankful for what he did. And like I said, it's hard as a spiritual leader to talk about these things. We want these things in our presidents and CEOs of tech or business. And, you want, of course, your politicians and your, as I said, your business owners to be awesome so that the product is good. So Apple, for example, you wouldn't want, what's his name? Tim Cook to get on in front of people and say, well, we've loved people really well this year. You don't care about that. But in the church, it's almost like I said, a sin, and it's too bad that we think that way about success in the church as if it was a bad thing. I mean, we all love to be around great churches, and so whatever you want to call it, loving churches, kind churches, I call it successful churches. I call it, I don't call it purpose-driven. I don't like certain terms, but I do love successful churches. And I've actually been writing a lot and meditating a lot on what I mean by that. But anyway, not to bore you with that. Now, as far as kind of what do I want to do? What is still left to do? I was thinking about this. Obviously, I want to work out. I've always been into working out and shape, and I want to keep, of course, my wife being the priority of my life, and our children as they get older and as they get into the real world, of course, praying for them. So, besides maintaining, okay, or praying for the things to stay well, right, and to what, but as far as again, because of who I am, what about new adventures? What are my new risks that I want to take? I'm not sure. I mean, I think that the current church that I'm at is I would say turning a corner. I think after almost 3 years, it's finally, at least that I've been there, we're finally turning that corner that's going to move us into a new place of health and productivity and success and experience and all the things that go with a healthy place and a healthy organism, a healthy church. So, I mean, that's going to still take some time, but I believe that the really hard times are pretty much almost behind us. I would say we still have another maybe 6-7 months, but I'm looking forward to getting through this very difficult season that we've been in for a long time, and certainly since I've been there. So that is still kind of on the front burner, you could say, maybe the second burner. I've done music. I have, as I said, some opportunities to mentor young people. I have some good friends at the church where I currently am at. I play music with our son every week at our church, and then every month at another church where we visit. So I'm very fulfilled in terms of that. I think that, I'm not really into traveling or any of that. I'm drawn to that. And I don't know, getting a PhD does kind of motivate me, but I think just simply because I know that I love to learn. There's no real financial purpose for it or status. I just really like to learn, and I love to accomplish. And so that's something that I'd like to do. Sure, yeah, sometime in the next year or so to actually start a PhD that maybe is not 4 years, but more like 2 years. 4 years of a doctorate program sounds crazy. So I think to support my wife in getting her doctorate, it would help her financially as well as influence in the education system. So getting behind her in whatever way I can, just by picking up the pieces, or just helping around the house, whatever that may mean. We have, as I said, 3 adult kids, so it's not like we have, I don't know, a bunch of stuff laying around or toys, but whatever I need to do and can do to support her, I think that is very important to me. That definitely is something I'd like to see her do, and I'd like to help her accomplish that. But I really don't know. I've been beginning to think about, what do people my age do if they've already accomplished it all? As I said, besides just maintaining, right, which is fine. I mean, if I, quote, die like this at the place that I'm at, I'll be happy. But besides maintaining, and besides not being an idiot, and besides not ruining your life or the lives of others, besides those things, or losing your job, or going bankrupt, or dying of cancer, God forbid, besides all those horrible things, what do I want to do? I think if I was to pick one thing, it would be spending more time with people one-on-one. It would be this that I'm doing, this coaching, this conversation, the idea of a spiritual guide. I would like to certainly have that be a business where I am a consultant, where I am creating some sort of membership process where people can, and I don't mean just my church or my friends. I mean, obviously that would be free, but I'm talking about just the general public, people that maybe I don't know. And I'm not a therapist, of course. I don't have any of that training, but just as far as my spiritual guidance and discernment that God's given me, and maybe something with music as well, or tech, or all these things that I love. That's not pastoring. Of course, pastoring is its own thing, but I'm thinking just a business. I think, anything dealing with coaching, with not a life coach, none of that stuff, but just more in the areas that I seem to help people, whether it's relationships or especially young adult guidance. If I was to pick one thing that I would do for the rest of my life, along with what I already have, it would be to have some sort of membership program or some sort of, I don't know, some means to have access or to have the opportunity to coach young adults like we did the other night. And whether it's with my lovely wife or it's just me, both of us, if it was more of a couples thing, that would be amazing. Or if it's just one-on-one or whatever it may be. And as I said, not church related, but just as a business and as a coaching plan, I would love to do that and use these tools online and in Spanish and English, of course, work with Latinos, work with anyone really, but I would say primarily people in their 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, but definitely those younger years. And to, of course, have it be very affordable. I have all these things I've done, like $1 a day club or $1 a month club or the 20-minute free sessions. All these things that I am doing. I think if there was maybe a way that I've thought about organizing that, it would be actually through a monthly subscription like Netflix for $9.99 or $14.99 to have you become a member of, let's say, the Gozo Planet or the Gozolandia, as I like to call it, and you can get exclusive content that you would actually want to pay for, that's not free, it's not on YouTube, it's not just you calling your mom, but that you would think that whatever I have to offer, and maybe it would be content that 2 or 3 of us create. I think that, I would love that you would think that whatever training you're receiving is worth your money, that it's worth $10 a month, and that it's worth you to do that every month, so that the relationships and the training and the realness, authenticity, the practicality of it, of course, the availability of it being on your phone, being on these beautiful and yet cursed tools, that it's all there and you can just access it, and it just comes out of your ATM, your debit, whatever. It's $10 a month here in the U.S. If you're overseas, I know that's a lot, so it wouldn't be available to countries where that would be too much. But if you're here in the U.S., kind of in this American culture, I guess, where $9.99 is something that most of us do, right? We pay $100 plus for our phones, $200 for our internet. We all pay maybe $10 for a Netflix, or we share someone's account, whatever, right? We're used to kind of doing that. Imagine if you could get spiritual and practical and very relevant content delivered to your phone for $9.99 every month. And I don't know yet. I would love to partner with someone who could be the editor, could work with me to make the content just spectacular. And I really have no clue how to do that. I have these tools, but to bring it to the next level, I would need a partner. And to do that with this person, and to build this business of I don't want to call it online coaching. I think it's more than that. I really long for it to be a lifestyle, just a way to bring God and to bring guidance. Again, not a therapist, not as a pastor per se, but as a spiritual coach, as a spiritual guide, what we used to call spiritual direction, but not that way. Currently spiritual direction, I don't think 99% of people don't even know what that is, right? Unless, I don't know, you do, but yet the idea of, as I said, of what happened here just a few nights ago, of having some friends, mostly younger, who have jobs, who make whatever, 20, 30, 50,000 a year. So, they have the means to pay that because they're young adults that work full time or whatever it is. They have 1 or 2 jobs that they can pay for something that they feel is not just going to YouTube. And that's the biggest problem. You have to differentiate yourself from what YouTube offers. And I don't think it's that hard, really, because when you have someone who actually cares about you and who sits with you in a non-judgmental way, from someone who has accomplished so much and who can be very real and full of love and again, not judging you, and from a spiritual perspective, but yet practical, not preachy or coming down so hard or any of that, and yet having a high moral ground, a base of faith. I think, that is wide open. I don't think that exists. You have therapists, you have churches, you have parents, you have YouTube, you have all this stuff. But as far as the kind of content that I want to create and the kind of relationship that I want to build, and again, the proven track record of, I would say, 30 years of having done this and having stories after story after story after story after story of people saying to me, thank you, you changed my life, just by those 30 minutes in my office or on the phone or even through Facebook Messenger. I've had people tell me, you changed my life, just through what, you know, the time that we spent talking. And so I just feel like that is the way forward as far as this second half for me to, of course, continue to do what I'm doing, as I said, to love, but as a second thing, because I always love a second thing, to have, maybe it would be a third thing, to have my family and just my own personal goals of fitness and health and all that stuff, my wife, our kids, the church as my passion and just, you know, my lifelong commitment. And then this third thing would be perhaps something in the future that could be not only an income stream and hopefully a very profitable income stream. I'm thinking, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that I could generate, and to be able to then invest that back into the business and really to invest into conferences and books and really just better coaches and to work with, as I said, maybe one or two other people. But I think more than the money, it would be about, I mean, I would say primarily it would be about providing content through these tools, meaning the phone, that isn't just a free video, but that is truly helpful to your life and to where you're at, in Spanish, English, I don't know, depending on who is interested. And, you know, right now, of course, as I said, no one is interested. I mean, I have 0 views and I'm on 8 platforms right now. And I've been now doing this for a good, I don't know, 10 years, maybe. And, you know, my reach is very, very small. Some of it is the platforms and the algorithms. And a lot of it is just, you know, people are mostly interested in just, I don't know how to say it, but in very, I would say, fleshly content. I mean, content, you know, whether you're a person of faith or not, and I fall into this same habit, we all love the things of this flesh, the lust of the eyes and the flesh of the world. And so to have someone just kind of counsel you and talk to you, like, oh, that's for Sunday, or, you know, that's my mom, or, oh, you know, when I'm old, or, oh, well, you know, I'm not that messed up, I don't need any help. And so that's the problem that I face, that I'm not here showing you my beautiful eyes. I mean, I think I have pretty eyes, but, you know, I'm not here, I don't know, I'm not famous, I haven't written any books, I'm not selling you anything, you know, it's just me, a man full of grace and love and truth and compassion in just a very simple way. And yet I know, because again of the track record, that if you and I spend 30 minutes talking, that your life will be changed, not because I'm some sort of, I don't know, anyone special, but because of the grace of God in my life. And then, 50 years of committed time to learning from my mistakes, to pursuing greatness, to reading, and just simply being used by God. So I would say that's the thing that is still left for me to do. And I will continue to try this online till the day I die. And I know if you have, if you're one of those 1 or 2 people that ventures in and watches this, I thank you. And I say, let's keep doing this. I'm never going to give up, because I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, meaning this third thing, as I said. And so I will continue to do it until they turn off the internet or until the computer dies. And even if that happens, I will continue to talk about the things that I talk about, because I really care for people. And I know that the need is incredibly great. And I think that there is this whole hiding that's taking place underneath the surface of Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and oh, I'm good and my life is great. I'm hooking up with this guy and I go to church and I read my Bible, or I serve. All that BS. I mean, that's the joy of being a pastor, is you hear so much BS from people that they think that I can't tell their BS. And yet, because how God made me, I see right through them. And I'm just simply here, so when they're ready, they know who to come to. But it won't be free, because, as I said, there's an investment that I have to make And I do want it to be an income stream because I think that is, it is just the way of the future, as far as technology and content and guidance. But as I said, it's not about that. It's about just being here so that you know who to go to when you're in that moment of truth and there's a crisis or you don't know which way to turn. Should you get married or not? Should you move out of the state or not? Should you buy that house? And I think that for all of the stupid content that is out there on YouTube and Snapchat and Twitter and all this dumb stuff that's out there, I know because I see it every day that young people especially are drowning in this sea of information, even if they have a loving family. And I don't even know who does anymore. But, and I don't know when this ship will turn around. I don't know when young people will hit bottom. I don't know, this generation, I'm not sure if they are going to hit bottom, but, well, maybe not publicly, but I know privately because they text me and DM me. They are hitting bottom left and right. It's just nobody knows about it. And I think we're going to be finding out a lot more of the chaos that's underneath the surface of the millennial generation that I have a real heart for. I don't have a heart for the pride and the ego and the arrogance of humanity, including millennials or myself or any generation. And so that is not my cup of tea, but I do have a huge level of compassion for what's underneath this generation. And and they have the means, they have money, they're very educated people, they are very achievement driven, and they also want to travel and rest and be vegan and all that stuff. That's all good. I laugh at that, but I don't judge them for that. If anything, as I said, I'm going to wait. It might be I have to wait another year, 3 years, 5 years, I don't know. But whenever you're ready, I am here to help you. And so in the meantime, I've already set up a membership site. You can go to my page right now, davidtree.com/membership, and you can see kind of what I'm doing and all that. It's all there. And I already have a page that you can register for. It's only, there's a couple of levels there. There's a premium level and a basic level that you can sign up for. And so whatever you need, I am here for you. And as I said, I would love to be that spiritual mentor in your life, no matter where you're at, no matter how many mentors, parents, pastors, churches, Bibles, prayers, no matter all that junk that you may have. I don't mean junk. I mean, how many people you are pulling the wool over their eyes. I see right through you. I see right through that. And yet I see you with eyes of love and with eyes of grace and non-judgment. But I will guide you, and I will help you, and we will walk together. I'm not a therapist. I'm not just some pastor guy that preaches and yells and screams or thinks that everything's great. I'm not waiting for heaven. I want to see your life be changed right here. I am waiting for heaven, but you know what I mean. I want to see your life be transformed today. No matter who you are, no matter how much you hide, no matter how many people you, as I said, have lied to. And I don't mean lying as in you're some sort of liar. I just mean, you haven't hit bottom yet. You're still kind of trying to do it on your own. And anyway, as I said, I will continue to be here even though I have 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm like the Dodgers, 0 across 9 innings. But no matter what, sorry about the noise. There's a bunch of noise out there, but I will continue to be here without judgment and without any sort of judgment. Instead, I will give you love, grace, guidance, truth, and I will be here. And so if you would like to even start that conversation now, if you are ready, you can, as I said, go to davidtree.com/membership. And you can sign up for the membership programs that I have. I have 2 different levels, a premium and a basic level, and we can get going on your particular question that you may have. Okay, thanks so much. I'll see you next time.